Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the Midwest, the actual West, as we come to you from the Bull Ring here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We are ready to crown a champion, but before we can do that, we have to get through the first of two 75-lap main events here tonight, coming to you. The Twin 75s here on championship night for the DECAF Late Model Tour. The drop has been factored in, and coming into tonight, we have a new points leader as we take a look at our Arts Barbershop Championship standings. Joe Schaffer has a 12-point lead over his rival from Quebec, Canada, the 09 Motorsports entry of Guillaume Fortin. Fortin and Schaffer have been passing each other on the racetrack. Schaffer, 6 wins on the season, comes into tonight looking for victory number 7 and 8. He will have to start deep in the field along with Guillaume Fortin here tonight to figure it out who will win. It's been 9 races coming into tonight, and it is coming down to this one. A lot of good points battles throughout the field. Justin Rigsby, if something were to happen to your top 2 in the first feature, he would be right into the thick of things right now. He sits 40 points back roughly as we come into tonight's action, and it is going to be hot and heavy. The Bull Ring, a tricky little racetrack as we pull up the race information for championship night for the DECAF Late Model Tour. The first feature is during sunset. It's going to be tricky for the drivers. A lot of glare in their eyes, especially going in the turn numbers 3 and 4. Will that become tricky? The weather, 82 degrees, 15% humidity, partly cloudy with a wind of 2 miles per hour. Track temperature right now, 87 degrees Fahrenheit, as we are here in the Sin City of Las Vegas. Who's you going to put your money on here tonight? Well, we will have to wait to find out right now, as practice is still underway. I can tell you right now, the fastest driver is the driver out of Michigan, the 88 of Matt Eddy, sitting on fast time for tonight's practice session as the track will go quiet. You see the beautiful sunset here in Nevada as we get ready to go with racing. A lot of good points battles coming on up here tonight as we will bring you all the action of the Twin 75s. Right now, it is Joe Schaffer that sits upon there. Him and Guillaume separated by mere small amount here in the practice settings as the track has gone quiet as they go in there. He sits 12 points behind. Rigsby 47 back. Then a good battle between for your 5th, 4th spot in points. AJ Hamel sits 4th in the points. Let's bring that back up here as the truck shows you that he sits there with 322 points. That's 86 behind our championship contenders, with Adam Jones and rounding out your top 5 in points. The points really close back there. We will have the points updated for you in between the races here tonight, but that's how they will stack up here. And I can tell you that right now, these drivers have come in here to mean business. All drivers turning more than 50 laps of practice. And we have 17 drivers signed in to bring you all the action the DECAF Late Model Tour has presented. It's been a great season, lots of racing as it all comes down to tonight. And I can tell you that you're in store for a good one. We hope you have yourself a cup of coffee sitting with you strapped in. Maybe not the decaf tonight. Maybe you've gone to the regular or the high test here tonight to get you through 75 laps of racing. The racing should not take very long. This is a short little racetrack. A lot of racing action coming your way. And I do believe it'll be either Dylan Blankenship or Eric Steele on the front row of this one. I am not sure that Dylan Blankenship is in the field here tonight. Doesn't look like he has unloaded that 05 off the hauler, so that's going to give the pole to the number 32 of Eric Steele. But before we get too carried away, let's step away. The ladies down there are ready for the national anthem as we honor the United States and our neighbors above in Canada with the playing of the national anthems. And welcome back here to the Bull Ring as our anthems are in the books. We'll set them for retire right now. We are showing your current points leader, the number 6 out of Wisconsin, the Epic Media sponsor, looking to claim the inaugural championship for the DECAF Late Model Tour. He sits 5th quick in practice right now. His championship contender is battling him 12 points back. This man, the driver of the 09 Motorsports, number 13, this is Guillaume Fortin. Fortin, the driver out of Quebec, Canada. He sits 7th on the speed chart right now, as we can show you coming into championship night who has the fastest time. Looks like Adam Jones just going to the top of the charts here in practice with a 15:409. Track starting to pick up some speed as it goes in to the nighttime settings here, as we will have a transition period from the daylight to underneath the halogen bulbs here at the Bull Ring, the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This is where, well, Kyle Busch cut his teeth, got his running. As we watch here now, we pick up Joe Schaffer working around the speedway. He'll go to the high side. And he looks to be resetting here tonight. So that is where your championship combatants are. Let's see if we can speak to the man who is 3rd in the championship standings, Justin Rigsby. This is Al Smith up in the Turn 3 racing booth. Do you have a copy?
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
Not too much. You come in kind of in the cat's bird seat. You're sitting 3rd in the championship standings, 47 points back tonight. All you got to do is kind of hope that the seas part and they go, but how is the Bull Ring here tonight? It looks like it's going to be a very racy racetrack for feature number 1.
This place is tough, but we've got some good practice in. Feel like we found some speed compared to times past. But I think I've pretty much got 3rd locked up in points, so that really gives me the freedom to come in here and give it my all and maybe try to get a W.
Speaking with that, was kind of having that locked up, 47 points out of the championship lead, not out of the question mathematically. Kind of a tall order in place, but you had a good season coming in 3rd, most likely going to end up in the top 3 in the points somewhere. You have 17 cars here tonight, so points could get jumbled up in front of you if there's some action between the top 2, between the 13 and the 6. So with that being said, do you go out and try to get up to the front as best as you can? It looks like you're going to be starting about mid-pack when the green flag drops here tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to give it everything I've got. Coming into these 2 races, knowing that I'm that far back, not mathematically out, but it'd take a miracle to get there. So best thing I can do is come in here and try to win both events tonight and see where it gets me.
Well, we wish you the best of luck here tonight as we are talking with Justin Rigsby. It is a tough little track here as you are sitting 3rd quick so far in practice, though. So the track, to your liking, you usually run pretty well here?
I usually survive, which can sometimes get you a top 5. And tonight I actually feel confident that I found some speed in this car, this new tire model. So hopefully we can get the Ryan's Fatted Calf Camaro up there and bring her home to victory lane.
Well, we'll wish you the best of luck. We'll let you get back out there to finish up happy hour, but we wanted to touch base with one of our championship contenders, and you are the only one that seemed to be available at the current moment. So we wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of feature number 1.
Thanks, Al. Looking forward to it.
There you have it. That's the driver of the number 99, Justin Rigsby, out of Bowling Green, Kentucky, for the Attitude Esports entry. Has 3rd place pretty much in the locked up in his safe, so now he can throw all care out to the wind and go for that W here in feature number 1 to put the pressure not mathematically out of it, but like he said, would need some sort of a miracle for him to come home with the championship here tonight. One person that's not always Grigsby, always fast. So if you were a bet man, I'd go down to the casino just down the road a little bit and grab yourself them, as it looks like the cars are going to get ready to be gridding here for our feature event number 1 coming to you is let's go through what our starting lineup will look like. Starting on the inside of row number 1, the Horse Dog Motorsports entry, car number 32, that is Eric Steele. To his outside, the number 22, that is Mike Holtzclaw. Jeremy Carpenter will start on the inside in the CEG Training Casino Dealing School, number 777, that is Jeremy Carpenter. His outside, the 777 of Jeremy Watkins. Starting on the inside of row number 3, that'll be the number 18. That's A.J. Hamlin, the Arts Barbershop entry. To his outside, the number 8 of Andy Lambert. Starting on the inside of row number 4, that'll be the 85 of Jeff Stiles. To his outside, the Tip City, Ohio driver. That is Chris Stump. Matt Eddy and Joe Schaffer make up row number 5. Schaffer starting 10th, coming in as your championship leader. Jason Garrett will start 11th. Outside of him in the 12th starting spot will be the 89 of Adam Jones. Justin Rigsby, we just talked to him, will start 13th. 14th will be Guillaume Fortin, Aaron Maynard, Brian Rogers, and Justin McDuff. Rounding out your starting field here tonight as we get ready to go. 75 laps with feature number 1. Field working through turns 1 and 2 as we get ready to go racing here. Eric Steele going to lead the field to the green flag here. The penultimate race of the season. 75 laps coming at you. Green is out. Eric Steele jumping down to the inside, getting out of the way. And Mike Holtzclaw going to jump out to your race lead. He's got Carpenter. Here comes A.J. Hamill. Hamill with the Arts Barbershop trying to find a way. A little bit of a bumper tag that time with the 777 of Carpenter as Holtzclaw will lead lap number 1. One car up the racetrack back here. It looks like a little bit of bumper tag. That was the 8 of Andy Lambert and the 85 of Stiles. Schaffer, your championship leader, up to your 7th position, going for 6 as he works underneath Chris Stump off of turn number 4. Jeremy Watkins going way up the racetrack, almost kisses the outside concrete. He'll lose multiple positions as now the 6 of Schaffer runs in the 5th spot. Guillaume Fortin, who comes second into the championship run, he sits back here in the 15th spot as they work around the speedway. A little contact up in front of him. Justin McDuff on the move. He's already cracking the top 10. We've got him 3 wide down to turn 3. Rigsby, Jones on the outside. Here comes McDuff and the Tim Hortons, number 20. Still 3 wide this time through turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch they come at you. McDuff now going to work underneath the 99 of Rigsby. Fluffy with a mistake. Here comes McDuff quickly all the way up inside the top 10 in your 7th position. Brian Rogers coming with him in the Pepsi number 12. Up front, it is still the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw. He's got A.J. Hamill running in second. 3rd spot now is the number 88 of Matt Eddy as Joe Schaffer works underneath the 777 of Jeremy Carpenter. That's for 4th. Chris Stump following close in tow. That is for 5th, and he will take that away. Carpenter rides 6th. McDuff 7th. He's got the trunk full of the Pepsi Mobile. Behind him with Brian Rogers is Garrett. A little bit out of shape underneath the 99 of Rigsby, able to catch it in. Making quick work of it here. Stiles down 4 spots since the start of the green flag. He's got some roughed up left side door panel. As Guillaume Fortin and Aaron Maynard run door to door down to the turn number 1. Up front, A.J. Hamill worked around Mike Holtzclaw. We missed it. We are sorry. Let's take a quick peek back and see how that pass happened. Off to corner number 4, A.J. was able to get to the inside of Holtzclaw. Made the pass stick, and Matt Eddy came along with him. We go back live here, working lap number 12 for A.J. Hamill Matt Eddy trying to figure out a way to pass him. Here comes Schaffer all the way up into your third spot. Remember, he started on the outside of row number 5. As we look back on the Turn 3 Racing Network onboard camera as we ride with A.J. Hamill. Looking back at the rest of the field. Hamill loved to get the victory lane here on championship night. His yellow flag has come out here for the first time. It looks like possibly the number 35 of Jason Garrett involved. We see him going down on pit road right at the current moment. Truck says they've got it keyed up. Let's see what happened to the 35 of Jason Garrett. Racing there door to door with the 13 of Fortin. Jones was able to get on by. Here comes Jeff Stiles down to the inside, and just slight contact that time off turn number 2. Nothing there. And then Stiles really drives it in deep. Just barely clips the left rear bumper of the 35 of Garrett, and Barney, our flagman, sends our pace car driver Art Hamill out onto the racetrack. Good to see Art out there in the Ford Mustang. He says he really enjoys pace in the field. It's got to be a hoot to look in his rear view mirror and see his son A.J. Hamill leading this one in the car number 18. Art going to go full-time pace car driving in 2021. Recently announced he is retiring from the haircut business. He's going to go on tour and be the pace car driver for the 2021 season. So good to have Art. We have Charlie Smith, AJ's uncle, as race director up in the tower right next to us here at the Bull Ring. Yellow flag laps not counting as the pace car lights will get extinguished by Art Hamill. So we will go double file restart coming up here tonight for the first time from the Bull Ring. Art Hamill pulls the pace car down in the pit road. A.J. Hamill in control of the field. They come off this. They'll put 15 laps in the book. Green is back out. Hamill with a good restart. He'll jump out to the race lead. Matt Eddy on the outside. Here comes the 6 of Schaffer. He'll go toe-to-toe with the 88 of Eddy. Chris Stump as well as rounding out your top 5 is the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw. Schaffer and Eddy wheel to wheel this time. Now we'll clear on the 6 of Schaffer into your number 2 spot. As his championship combatant, the 13 of Guillaume Fortin, stuck back here in a gaggle of cars. He worked underneath the 85 of Stiles. Holtzclaw now working underneath the number 88 of Eddy, the Alpha turn number 4. Matt Eddy stuck on the outside. It is tough to make the outside work here. See him get a little bit loose on entry. Good side-by-side battles all the way through this field as they work through the corner. One car getting sideways. That's the 98 of Chris Stump. Stump in trouble. Was running inside the top 10. The seas parted and Guillaume Fortin up to your 7th spot now. He works underneath the 89 of Adam Jones. Aaron Maynard runs in the 9th spot, up 7 spots so far. As Joe Schaffer has taken the race lead. For A.J. Hamill. We apologize for missing that. We had a lot of action going on. Let's take a look back and see what happened for the race lead. Schaffer took a bit to the inside, got AJ to the outside. Nice clean pass by the Epic Media number 6 of Joe Schaffer. Holtzclaw still holds on to your third spot. Justin McDuff shuffled back to the 6th spot now, as Rigsby and the 88 of Eddie were able to get on by. One car sideways, that's the 12 of Brian Rogers in yellow, yellow, yellow. Yellow flag, number 2 coming out onto the speedway for the Pepsi, number 12 of Brian Rogers. Let's see what happened, as he is not happy with the number 8 of Andy Lambert. Rogers running there next to Styles off of turn number 4. Lambert worked to the inside, and oh yeah, just got him in the left rear quarter panel. Not much damage to the 12 of Rogers, but lost a lot of track position. So a tough break for the driver out of Vermont. 2 drivers out of Vermont making contact there. Joe Schaffer holds the race lead. Guillaume Fortin up to your 5th spot here under the yellow flag. Fortin up 7 spots from his 14th starting spot. He sits 7th. Came into tonight's first feature trailing Joe Schaffer by 12 laps. As the field doubles up, as Barney tells them to double up, gets the message through the race monitor. Race receivers, these drivers, one-way communication with Charlie Smith, our race director, up here in the control tower. Art Hamill going to take the hard left-hand turn down to pit road. Chris Stump still on pit road. Looks like he is moving now, so he'll get back out onto the racing surface. Joe Schaffer, AJ Hamill on the front row. Schaffer jumps on the loud pedal first, and he'll be underway. 1/3 of the race already gone. Working lap 26. Good battle up front. Schaffer going to squeak out past the 18 of Hamill. Hamill will cut the nose off of the 22 of Holtzclaw. Holtzclaw locks him up a little bit that time. Some contact between the 88 and the 13 of Fortin. Fortin working underneath the 20 of Justin McDuff. He's got the 46 of Aaron Maynard to his inside. Is Justin McDuff up on the outside, driving with a broken right ring finger. That's said it hurts quite a bit, but he's out here gritting away. That's tough of these DECAF late model drivers. Right now, McDuff trying to find a way to the inside. Oh, contact! The 85 of Styles going around. Yellow flag. Coming out is Jeff Styles. Goes into the spin cycle. The back end of that, Goodfellas, number 85, shortened up quite a bit. Let's see what has happened to the number 85 of Jeff Styles. Him and Adam Jones were running their door-to-door off turn number 2. They head down to the turn number 3. Styles trying to be like a mouse with sneakers on that white line. He gets right around there. Comes up off the corner. Oh, a little bit of net code sends him around in front of the 85. Oh, and clipped by the 35 of Jason Garrett. Let's see here. Let's see if we can go on board with Jason Garrett on the roof cam. The track racer on board. We can see the action up in front of Garrett. They come off the corner. You just see contact there between the 80 and 985 and Jones, and Garrett committed to the outside and just clipped them on the outside. There we go, back live racing here is Styles. Will bring his car back down pit road. Chris Stump on pit road as well, but your points leader is your current race leader. The 6 is Schaffer. AJ Hamill runs in your number 2 spot as the lights will go out around the speedway. Charlie Smith running a quick pit meeting here tonight. He also got the track crew whipped in shape. Quick yellows here is Styles and Stump will be making off pit road. Field rolls through turns 3 and 4. Green flag is back out, and we're back underway with the DECAF Late Model Tour. One lap into the books, and now Holtzclaw, he's got to run to the inside of AJ Hamill. Mike Holtzclaw, your points leader. Trouble. 13 of Guillaume Fortin going around. The 20 of McDuff involved as well. Big trouble off of turn number 2, bringing out the yellow flag once again. Your second pointsman involved, the number 13 of Guillaume Fortin. Let's take a look back and see what happened. Guillaume Fortin working the outside of Matt Eddy in the turn number 3. He is the 20 of Justin McDuff in the back pocket. Maynard to the inside as well. He tries to get down. Tried to get down low, and Maynard was down and around went to 13. Let's bring it back once again, get a different angle of it. Maynard in the 46 working the inside of Justin McDuff. Fortin thought the hole was there, and it closed in a hurry. Came down late entry in the 46 of Maynard just there and up around the track and got into the 20 of Justin McDuff. The 777 also involved with Jeremy Carpenter. Heavy damage to the Tim Hortons number 20 of Justin McDuff. Guillaume Fortin down on pit road as well as we come back alive. Crew working on the 13. Chris Stump also getting some damage fixed to his Big Johnson number 98. Trying to get it all buttoned up here. Jeff Styles on pit road as well. As the field looks like to be doubled up behind Art Hamill once again here as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Here, feature number 1 on championship night for the DECAF Late Model Tour. Green flag is back out. It'll crawl to the start there. Now Holtzclaw making a bid to the outside. Mike Holtzclaw on car number 22. He's got AJ Hamill down to the inside. That's the battle for your runner-up position. Hamill working to the inside. Here comes Justin Rigsby as well off turn number 3. Rigsby to the inside. Eric Steele and Maynard throwing haymakers in front of the 12 of Brian Rogers. Rogers rebounded nicely after contact and going through the spin cycle early on in this event. They are leaning on each other. Aaron Maynard and Eric Steele leaning on each other. Here comes Brian Rogers. He'll take a bid to the inside. He draws even up with the 32 of Eric Steele. He'll get that position away. Andy Lambert and Jason Garrett rubbing some fenders off the corner. Number 4 as well. That's the battle back there for your 10th position. Lambert has it. Garrett wants it. Up front, Adam Jones getting around. His yellow flag will fly. Yellow, yellow, yellow coming out on lap 35. As Art Hamill will bring the Ford Mustang back out on the pit road. We'll have to see what happened there. Let's see what happened on lap 35. Looks like Joe Schaffer possibly involved. As we look back and possibly on the 18 of A.J. Hamill, him and 99 of Rigsby. Rigsby throws it in there deep. Oh, a little bit of netco between the 18 and the 99 of Rigsby. And that brings us underneath our 4th yellow of the evening. See once again as we go on board. The track racer on board with Adam Jones. Slight contact between him and the 99 and the 18 of A.J. Hamill. The yellow flag flew from Barney here on the main tower. So A.J. Hamill looks like he is getting put to the rear by Charlie Smith for his involvement in that wreck. I believe that's a scoring thing. It looks like the yellow flag possibly for the 18 of A.J. Hamill. So a tough break for that driver. Was running up inside the top 3 all race long. Good news is he's got 40 laps to get back to the front of this one. Art Hamill brings the pace car down pit road. We are going back green flag racing off of turn number 4. Green is up and we're back underway. Schaffer jumps out to the race lead. Here comes the 89 of Jones. He'll dive it in underneath the 99 of Rigsby. He'll make that pass. Now go after your race leader. Jones trying to get underneath the 6 of Schaffer. He might have it this time down the front stretch. Not quite there. Has to back out of it as Schaffer is your race leader as we've got him jammed up and jelly tight off turn number 2. The 22 of Holtzclaw works underneath the 99 of Rigsby. Here comes Brian Jones back through the field. He works underneath the 88 of Eddie, and now the 32 of Eric Steele trying to put pressure to that Pepsi can. Up front, Adam Jones really putting the pressure. He'll go to the high side, try to get that momentum to cut underneath Schaffer. Schaffer not allowing anything of it. Now Jones to the inside. Adam Jones taking a bid for your race lead. New race leader, lap 39. Adam Jones takes the race lead away from the 6 of Schaffer. Schaffer quickly back to the back bumper. Is your top 2 battle for your race lead. Jones up the racetrack. That allows the 6 of Schaffer now back to the inside. New race leader coming up in the turn number 3. Can Jones cut him back underneath him? Couldn't do it that time. Schaffer will lead lap number 41. Working lap 42. Jones is going to try to cross him off, but can't do it. That time off turn numbers 2. A.J. Hamill quickly making his way back up through the field. He rides now back in the 8th position after restarting tail of the field. Guillaume Fortin must be down on power. He rides in the 15th position. He's going to lose a lot of ground in feature number 1 to your race leader. You see that car, heavy front end damage to the 13 of Fortin. Hamill now working to the back side of the 46 of Aaron Maynard. He's got Chris Stump with his Big Johnson's number 98. The team doing a good job. As Maynard's going to protect the inside line. That allows AJ to get to the outside. Couldn't quite do anything with him that time off turn 2. Holtzclaw, that time up the racetrack. That allows Maynard. That's the battle for your 6th position. Maynard would like it. He takes it away from the 22 of Holtzclaw, and here comes the 18 of Hamill. Hamill works underneath. He'll be evened up with the 22 of Holtzclaw. As Yards Barbershop entry making his way back inside the top 10. He runs 7th. Holtzclaw back to your 9th spot as Chris Stump will take 8th away from him. Up front, Adam Jones starting to feel the pressure from the 99 of Justin Rigsby. Matt Eddy runs there in your number 4 spot. Brian Rogers up 10 spots. He runs 5th. Aaron Maynard 6th. It's now AJ Hamill. Takes a bid to the inside. Tries to clear the contact off turn number 2. They come off the corner. Hamill will clear the 46 of Maynard. Maynard tries slamming the door shut. Chris Stump will get on by. Here comes Mike Holtzclaw. Maynard on the outside of the conveyor belt going the wrong direction. 17 cars started this race. All 17 still on the lead lap here as we work 23 laps to go this time by. Out front, your top 4 have broken away. A lot of action around the speedway. These top 4 cars single file. Brian Rogers runs in 5th. AJ Hamill 6th. Chris Stump 7th. Mike Holtzclaw 8th. Then it is Eric Steele and Aaron running 9th and running out your top 10. Here's the 46 of Aaron Maynard. Jeremy Watkins, who started 4th here tonight, he runs in your 11th position. Justin McDuff up 5 spots. He was quickly moving up the race fair and had some trouble. He rides in the 12th spot. Jeff Stiles 13th. Jeremy Carpenter 14th. Guillaume Fortin rides in your 15th. Andy Lambert and Jason Garrett still trading some paint around here with 20 laps to go as your race leader crosses the stripe. Rigsby trying to find a way around the number 89 of Adam Jones. He might have something for your race leader. Jones gets a little bit wide that time off turn number 2. Couldn't do anything with him. Rigsby runs third. He's got Matt Eddy in the Eddy Performance number 88. He runs in your 4th spot. AJ Hamill has gotten around the 12 of Brian Rogers. The 98 of Chris Stump runs there in 6th spot. AJ back to 5th where he started. AJ Hamill running very well here tonight. Rose up, led some laps. Is now Schaffer starting to pull away with just 15 laps to go. Slower traffic right in front of your race leader between Garrett and Lambert. Matt Eddy starting to put the pressure to the 99 of Rigsby. Rigsby's bumper cap pushed in a little bit. The drivers will have a chance to go to a backup car between servers so their cars will get all fixed up and be fresh for feature number 2 coming your way in a little bit here tonight. as darkness starts to come into the bull ring. Matt Eddy going to swing to the outside, trying to pedal as fast. Rigsby now to the inside. Justin Rigsby taking a bit to the inside. Door to door off turn number 4. Jones on the outside. Here comes Rigsby. Battle for second. This rages on through turns 1 and 2. Rigsby with the preferred line on the outside, but the momentum by Jones on the outside. And this is a good battle for your third spot. Rigsby this time, 3/4 of a car length advantage over Jones. Here comes Matt Eddy. Eddy licking his chops, trying to get onto the podium with just 9 laps to go. Matt Eddy gets past Jones. Jones tries to cross him off turn number 2. Couldn't quite clear him. Is Eddy now trying to find a way around Justin Rigsby? All this happened in 1.1 seconds behind your race leader of Joe Schaffer. 7 laps to go, this time in the turn numbers 1 and 2. Schaffer going to work onto the priority auto number 8 of Andy Lambert. Lambert runs 15th. Not the first feature that he was hoping to have here tonight at the bull ring. Now Eddy going after the 99er Rigsby. That's the battle for second. This time off turn number 4. 5 laps to go. Schaffer sees the high five salute. Jones not giving up on the backside of Matt Eddy as he tries to work around the Eddy Performance number 88. The Sanford, Michigan driver looking for a podium here in feature number 1. Adam Jones would like to get there as well. Schaffer working down the backstretch, and this time through turns 3 and 4, he'll see the popsicle sticks. 2 laps to go for Joe Schaffer. Schaffer works down the backstretch. He'll come off for turn number 4. White silk is flying for the Epic Media number 6. Schaffer can see the 13 of Guillaume Fortin in his sights. Does not have to pass him. He's got a 1.2 second lap lead. They come off the corner, and it will be Joe Schaffer picking up the win. Rigsby will finish second. Eddy third. Adam Jones will finish 4th. AJ Hamill 5th. Chris Stump 6th. Brian Rogers muscles back to a 7th place finish. Its feature number 1 has come to a close here on the front stretch. Joe Schaffer will pull it down into the Bull Rings victory lane. And what does that mean there, boys and girls? That means we have our Arts Barbershop post-race show coming on up here for feature number 1 after a quick word from one of our sponsors.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back here to the post-race show for feature number 1 on championship night. And taking home the victory was your current points leader, Joe Schaffer, picking up the win. And Joe, down here in victory lane, you look a little worn out after that one, but you made it look easy.
It didn't feel like it. Typically the bull ring is one of my better tracks, but I struggled tonight. I'm kind of glad we didn't have a late restart, because Adam, especially on that, restart midway through, and then I know Justin and Matt behind me, everybody was better than me fire off. But you can only wheel it that hard for so long on the right front before it starts giving up. And I guess that's really kind of that's been my philosophy all season, is just to save the right front, and hopefully it pays off. But on a late restart like that, I might have been in some trouble, I think.
Last restart, you had Adam Jones. He made a nice move off of turn number 2. Did you feel like that was the end of the race there, or did you feel that you had enough car to make a run to get back by him?
Well, he can wheel it, no doubt. But I kind of knew driving that hard, eventually his front tires were going to give up. He put a good move on me, so I was going to obviously give him room, because I want to do it clean. And he must have made a mistake or something on entry, overran it, and I ended up getting side by side with him again. And after that, I think he'd overheated it a little bit. But when I fell back to second, I was really hoping that the caution wasn't going to come out, because that would have probably would have cost me 3 or 4 spots on the restart, just with how fast the top 5 was on once the tires could cool off and you get going again.
Well, now we get to, you're going to keep the same car, you're going to go to a backup car. I know AJ's giving everybody the chance of pulling out a backup for feature number 2. We got to do it all over again, and you're going to have to start, I believe, a little bit deeper in feature number 2.
But we only brought one, so hopefully this one can carry it through for 75 more laps.
Well, you take home the win. You got maximized your points. You had a 12-point lead coming into feature number 1. And I believe in your championship combatant, Guillaume Fortin, had a little bit of a rough race here in feature number 1. So a little bit less pressure going into feature number 2, or are you still in game mode where you have to get to the front as fast as possible?
Well, I guess I'll wait till AJ gives me the points. I might be a little bit more patient in this first race, or in the second race, just because it kind of seemed like there was some carnage early on in this first one. I don't know if G got caught up in that or not. I've been in this position before. I'm an old guy now. I've been around, so I'll just race smart and make sure all 4 corners are on it on lap 75 and see what happens.
Well, before we let you go back to the pits and take a sip of Gatorade or your drink of choice here, who makes it all possible for you here for feature win number 7 of the season?
Well, Epic Media, as always, for supporting me all season. The posse and you guys for putting the lead together, and for all 12 weeks, 13 races, whatever it's been. We appreciate it.
There you have it there, boys and girls. There is your feature event winner for the 7th time this season, Joe Schaffer. And Joe will move into feature number 2 as your current high points man. We do have an update on the points coming up just in a moment here. But before we do that, we're going to slide down here just a little bit to the left, and we're going to talk to our second place driver that finished runner-up here tonight. We talked to him in the pre-race show. This is none other than Justin Rigsby. And Justin, well, you talked that you wanted to survive it. You finished second, right behind the championship leader.
Man, this fatted calf Camaro was fast. But we survived a little bit in the beginning. As Joe was saying, there was some carnage in the back. Not a whole lot of give and take early on, but it's a tough place. You can't really give a whole lot and try to take more than you give. So really think we had something there at the end. Just took me a little bit to get past Adam. He was fast, and I don't want to just drive it in there and wipe him out. I know I got into AJ a little earlier. Just have to go back and watch that. Hopefully it wasn't all on me. I feel like I got a little help, but I make mistakes as well, so I'm sorry to him for that. Looks like he rebounded to 5th though, so glad to see he got a decent finish out of it.
Yeah, talking about the racing throughout the night, or the event in feature number 1, looks like a lot of paint swapping, a lot of tempers were flaring early on in that one. Do you think we'll see that carry forward into feature number 2?
Oh, I hope so. I'm sure it makes for a good show. I just hope they give us another set of tires because these are wore out. But it was tough, especially if you got stuck on that outside. Even if you were a little faster than the guy behind you, you didn't have much of a chance. You had to pretty much had to cut somebody off, and at that point you was taking a risk of them not really letting you, and you'd go for a spin, which I think happened to a few people trying to force the issue. But I'm glad we was able to salvage a second place finish out of it, and hopefully we can do the same next race. Like I said, I think we have found some good speed. It's just a matter of how quick we can pass people and hopefully stay out of the wrecks.
Well, we wish you the best of luck in feature number 2, where it looked like your pile will be starting a little bit deeper in the field. What do you think in feature number 2? You think you can get back up here to the podium?
Well, I don't know how much further back than 13th I might start, but I was able to do it from there. So what's another spot or two? We'll give it another go.
Well, we wish you the best of luck here. Before we let you all take and go, who made it all possible here in feature number 1?
I just want to thank Attitude Graphics for painting this beautiful blue car. Ryan's Fatted Calf, Heritage Barbershop, Ski Daddies, for filling out the sponsorship on it. Makes it look like a true race car, and glad we can get them a little airtime, and hopefully we can do it again next race, but from Winter Circle. There
you have it. That's your second place finisher here tonight in feature number 1 on championship night. The driver out of Kentucky, that is the 99 of Justin Rigsby. And rounding out the top 3, it is none other than the driver out of Michigan, car number 88 of Matt Eddy. Matt, how you doing out there? You had a heck of a battle, and you come home inside the podium here tonight in feature number 1.
Yeah, it was definitely a busy night. Got up towards the front pretty quick, and then had to restart on the outside of the front row there. And it's tough out there. I might have had one shot where I could have dove down into 3, but like Justin said, you're risking whether the other guy's going to give you that few inches you might need or dive it in there. But it's pretty good. I like the bull ring. Think I'm getting a good feel for the new tires since the switch. Hopefully we can keep it up.
Looks like you're going to be starting 12th in feature number 2. You're going to have the outside start spot, but 75 laps to get to the front. We saw the beginning of this race be a little bit chippy. Do you expect to see that going forward, not from yourself, but from the other racers out there? It looks like a lot of paint was swapping between cars. Starting that far back, does that have you worried a little bit?
Well, yeah, the first thing you got to do is stay out of trouble. It's a tough track here because the lines all kind of converge and there's not enough room when everyone gets there.
Well, we have 75 more laps to get it done, but before we let you go, you've had a decent season this so far. You came in battling for the top 5 in points, and going into feature number 2, do you feel like you can hold on and finish inside the top 5 here in the DECAF Late Model Tour's inaugural season?
I'd like to. That's what we're aiming for. We're going to have to pass a bunch of cars to do it, I believe.
Well, before we let you go back to the pits and get ready for feature number 2, who makes it all possible for you here for feature number 1?
How Racing Enterprises, and my lovely wife who lets me do this, and AG and you guys for putting on this league. It's a lot of fun.
Well, we hope we talk to you here in feature number 2, and we'll let you get back in to get preparation for race number 2. But thanks for taking the time here on the front stretch to talk to us and our fans out there. And we'll talk to you very soon here for feature number 2. That is your third place finisher, the driver of the number 88. That is Matt Eddy. Matt Eddy rounding out your podium finish here tonight as we get ready to go with feature number 2. But let's take a look at how feature number 1 ended up here. Joe Schaffer picking up the win, holding off Justin Rigsby and Matt Eddy that we just heard of. Adam Jones holds on to 4th. AJ Hamill rallies back for a 5th. Chris Stump with damage early. He rallies back to 6th. Brian Rogers, Mike Holtzclaw, Jeff Stiles, and Aaron Maynard rounding out your top 10. Jeremy Carpenter, 1 spot off the top 10. He'll finish 11th. Drivers on the business end of the hook was the 20 of Justin McDuff. Unable to finish in feature number 1. We'll see if they can get that Tim Hortons number 20 back together here for feature number 2. Jason Garrett and Andy Lambert, 15th. Guillaume Fortin finishing 14th. And we've got a look at your updated points currently headed into feature number 2. And Joe Schaffer has a 40-point lead now over Guillaume Fortin. Fortin only 11 points in front of Justin Rigsby, so a top 2 finish. Not the battle for second going to rage on along with your championship. Joe Schaffer sounds a little nervous headed into feature number 2. Anything can happen. Remember, only 12 points separated Guillaume Fortin and Joe Schaffer going into feature number 1. The twin 75s coming up your way. But right now we take a look, and that is where the drivers line up, and I believe we have caught down up here with the driver. I believe we see him around here. I do not see Guillaume Fortin, so he has left. He sits 40 points behind your race leader. We're going to try to get a word with him, but right now we will go high above the racing surface and we'll talk to someone here. But coming up next will be our second feature twin 75. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the Coffee Cup Racing will return January 4th with the Nitro Series. It's the ARCA cars. They will be back under action January 4th. Sign-ups at coffeecupracingleague.com. They will begin mid to late December. After this DECAF Late Model Tour concludes, the Nitro Series will be back in action for their second season for the Coffee Cup Racing League. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Let's see if we can catch some words here with some other drivers that finished here on the Speedway. And we'll see if we can catch up with our 4th place finisher, Adam Jones. And we've caught up down here in the pit lane. Adam Jones, this is Al Smith up in the Turn 3 Racing Network. You and your team have a second to talk?
Hey, Al.
Hey, Adam. This is you come home 4th. We saw a heated battle out there inside the top 5 all race long. Coming home just 1 spot out of the top 3. But you come out with a 4th place finish. How was that first feature for you?
Hell, it was a hairy one, man. I don't know. I think the car got so beat up early in that run that I ran the tires off of it. But hopefully this race will be a little smoother, and I won't feel like I'm having to drive for my life so much.
That was a very, very hectic one. You're going to start. It looks like you're going to be starting a little bit deeper in the field here for feature number 2 to round out the season here. It's been a good season for you. You're sitting right now currently 5th in the standings. We just showed it. Only 4 points out of 4th. You and the 18 of AJ Hamill battling for that spot, but you have Matt Eddy that is trying to get into the top 5, only 5 points off your back bumper in the current point standings after feature number 1. What's it going to take to move up or stay inside the top 5 in feature number 2?
Well, I feel like I'm fast enough that I can should be able to run up front, but it just all depends. There's so much that can happen in a race like this. I think I may try a different strategy and just hang back and let the calamity happen, and we'll see what happens.
Well, we hope to see you up on the podium in feature number 2. But we'll let you get back into preparation for that feature number 2. Any shout-outs or expectations for feature number 2?
Well, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be as exciting as the first race, and just hats off to the league. I've had a ball in here this year, and hope we can get going with the next series as well.
Well, we wish you the best of luck here, and we'll see you on the track at some point. And that's your 4th place finisher here in feature number 2, or number 1, excuse me. That was Adam Jones, who finished 4th. That will be our 4th place finisher. As we take and move through here as well, taking would bug AJ, but he seems a little bit busy. And the second server is up. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. We'll catch up with our 5th place finisher on the flip side of this break. You're watching the DECAF Late Model Tour here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back here to the Turn 3 Racing Network grid for race number 2 up onto the speedway. They get ready to go with their 75-lap second feature, the last race of the season. Jeremy Carpenter and Mike Holzkopf will start up on the front row. Jeremy Watkins in car number 77 will start third. To his outside will be the number 8 of Andy Lambert. AJ Hamill will start 5th. Jason Garrett 6th. 7th spot will go to the 85 of Jeff Stiles. Here to the 12 of Brian Rogers will start on the outside. Guillaume Fortin starts 9th. Outside of him, the number 20 of Justin McDuff. The number 89 of Adam Jones. Chris Stump, Aaron Maynard, Joe Schaffer starting out back along with Eric Steele. That is your 17-car field as we get ready to go green flag racing. The DECAF Late Model Tour presents to you the gladiators of the full-fendered metal men. They get ready to bring you the full cup action of the DECAF Late Model Tour. The green is up. They are ready to go green flag racing, and we are underway with feature number 2. Down in the turn number 1 they go. Contact already as AJ Hamill works underneath the 7 of Watkins as the Carpenter jumps out to race lead. As there's contact, Mike Holtzclaw goes into the spin cycle. Him and Jeremy Watkins made contact in big trouble on the front stretch. Big trouble here on the front stretch here as it looks like Mike Holtzclaw involved. Jason Garrett down on pit road as well. Let's take a look back and see what happened here to bring out our first yellow here on lap number 1. Triple 7 of Carpenter jumping out to your race lead. To the back here, it was the 777. Or the 22 of Holtzclaw getting involved. 8 of Andy Lambert nowhere to go. And then Eddie going around here on the front stretch. Let's go back here a little bit further. As we go high above, watch this one from the high above on our blimp cam. '77 of Watkins getting involved, the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw, and around with there, Joe Schaffer able to miss the incident, along with our second place in points person of Guillaume Fortin, as we come back alive here. So Fortin able to miss that one. He'll line up on the outside of row number 3. He'll restart in the 6th spot as Art Hamill has turned the pace car lights off behind the pace car. Here's the 777 of Carpenter to 77 of Watkins. Green flag back out. We're back underway. Up the racetrack. We got him 3 wide off the corner. Adam Jones going around. Oh, into the side of the 6 of Schaffer. Some damage on the number 6 of Schaffer as we've got him 3 wide now in front. Watkins on the outside. Here comes the 99 of Rigsby. As Guillaume Fortin got shuffled to the outside. AJ Hamill working underneath the 777. That is the Battlefield race lead. So AJ Hamill showing your race lead now. They work lap number 6. It's a little glitch in our scoring system now. The 777 of Carpenter, his work at the outside. The Styles will get by in car number 85. Here comes the 20 of Justin McDuff. McDuff finishing in 17th last feature, looking for a redemption here in feature number 2. Runs in your 4th position after starting 10th. Fortin now working underneath Carpenter, this time off the corner in the CEG Dealer Schools, number 777. The Casino Quest sponsored is McDuff will get to your 3rd spot underneath Styles. Styles on the outside. Here comes Chris Stump as well, the 99 of Justin Rigsby. That's how your top 3 run. AJ Hamill starting to feel the pressure from the Pepsi can of Brian Rogers. Rogers dogging him. Justin McDuff runs 2nd. Chris Stump 4th. Battle for 5th. Rigsby will go door to door off turn number 4. That is the number 85 of Styles. He's bringing the 13 of Guillaume Fortin. Fortin trying to make up as much ground as he can. Is now the 46 of Aaron Maynard. He's working underneath the 85 of Styles. Right behind him, the 6 came in 40 points above Guillaume Fortin in the feature number 2. Heavy right side damage on the number 6 of Joe Schaffer. Up to your 8th spot after starting 16th. 2 spots in front of him is the 13 of Fortin. Matt Eddy rebounding after being involved in the first yellow flag. He works underneath the 85 of Styles. Mike Holtzclaw getting back to speed. He spent some time down on pit road in his number 22. Mike with a great showing in feature number 1. Ran inside the top 5 most of the race. Styles runs there 2nd. Hamill opening it up now over the 12 of Brian Rogers now. It is a 0.7 second gap. Justin McDuff unable to shake the Big Johnson number 98 of Chris Stump. Rigsby runs there in your 5th spot. Guillaume Fortin, 1 spot of the top 5. He runs 6. Maynard starting to feel the pressure from the number 6 of Joe Schaffer. G is going to need some help here from his competition. Came in with high hopes, did not like this racetrack. Said he put a bunch of time in here with his 09 Motorsports teammates. Did not have the first feature he was looking for, finishing 15th. After getting caught up in some damp early races. Now the bumper, Joe Schaffer, will move the 46 of Aaron Maynard up the racetrack. Maynard will slam the door shut. They will right here. Andy Lambert catching up to the back side of the 6 of Schaffer is Eddie. And Styles will go door to door. This is the battle for your 10th spot. Matt Eddy runs 11th, Styles in 10th. Eddy with a crossover move off turn number 4, nothing there. Brian Rogers starting to close in on the number 12, or the 18 of AJ Hamill, your current race leader. As we go on board with AJ Hamill looking back at that Toyota Camry. One-third of the way in, Larkin lap 25. Brian Rogers trying to make a bid to the inside. Couldn't quite do it that time. Painting that yellow line. McDuff still runs third. They are closing in on this battle for your race lead. Stump there as well. Now it looks like the 6 of Schaffer has gotten around the 46 of Maynard. Here comes Lambert with him as well. Lambert getting a little shot from the 46 of Maynard. Maynard tries to drive it in deep. Can't do anything with him. Styles there. Matt Eddy. Eddy now going to go to the inside of Styles. That's for 10th. Give 10th place to Matt Eddy as they work off turn number 2. One retiree, the 35 of Jason Garrett, has pulled the number 35 behind pit road. Not the way he wanted his night to end. Fortin gets around Rigsby now. He sets sights on the number 98 of Chris Stump. 45 laps to go at the stripe. Half a second separating your top two. AJ Hamill still leads. They are working on the 32 of Eric Steele. He'll pull to the infield. Don't believe that'll bring out a yellow flag. We stay green. Something going awry with the 32 of Eric Steele. He has pulled it behind the pit wall. Justin McDuff leading this four-way battle. Here's Chris Stump, takes a peek to the inside. Couldn't quite do anything with him. So we go on the turn 3 racing the onboard camera with Justin McDuff, who runs in third. Fortin taking a peek on the inside of Chris Stump. Couldn't quite do it. Now he'll go to the outside, trying to get that momentum. He's got Rigsby close in tow. Those drivers separated by 11 points coming into this feature event for your second spot. Field still pacing AJ Hamill up front, 0.6 of a second. This is the best battle on the speedway. For your third spot, Chris Stump, dog in the Tim Hortons car of Justin McDuff. Guillaume Fortin starting to feel the pressure from the 99 of Justin Rigsby. He finished second in feature number 1. That number 99 of Rigsby did. This time off turn number 2. Stump takes a bit to the inside. He'll pull up even in the turn number 3. McDuff on the outside. Fortin, can he get there? McDuff will slam the door shut. Falling back to 4th. AJ Hamill still showing the way. Brian Rogers second. As we work up the lap halfway, Chris Stump runs in your third spot. Justin McDuff now trying to fight off the challenges of the 13 of Guillaume Fortin. Fortin runs there in the 5th position. Justin Rigsby 6th. 7th spot goes to Joe Schaffer. Doing exactly what he needs to do here in feature number 2. Keeping the 13 in sight. Had a 40-point lead coming into this one. So he's just got to keep it on the racetrack and stay within sight of that 13. And he will be your inaugural champion for the DECAF Late Model Tour presented by the Coffee Cup Racing League. Andy Lambert runs in your 8th spot. 9th spot goes to Matt Eddy. And rounding out your top 10 as this is a dogfight back here, Aaron Maynard. Jeff Stiles trying to find a way around the number 46 of Maynard as the 777 of Jeremy Carpenter runs 12th. 13th spot goes to the 777 of Jeremy Watkins. And the 89 of Adam Jones is your last car on the lead lap. Jones will go down, or Watkins will go to the pit road as AJ Hamill, your race leader, comes up onto the backside of them. Last time by, let's see who had the fastest lap. Looked like AJ Hamill so far. With a 9.55, Stump ran a 9.59. So those are the 2 fastest cars on the lead lap. He's opened up to a 1.4 second lead over this man, the 12 of Brian Rogers. Driver out of Georgia, Vermont. He'll work underneath the 89 of Adam Jones. Chris Stump runs 3rd. 4th is Justin McDuff. And rounding out your top 5 is Guillaume Fortin. Fortin with electrical issues underneath the hood of the 13. So he chases down the 20 of McDuff. .25 laps to go. Hamill enjoys a lead, but the battle for second place starting to shape up. Chris Stump is coming as we go high above the Bullring Speedway with our blimp cam. Presented by Cameras by STN. Give Zach Johnson a call if you are in need for some nice short track camera packs like the ones you're seeing here tonight on the Turn 2 Racing Network. Stump closing in on the backside of Brian Rogers. Rogers had a rough feature. Number 1 rallied back to finish 7th. He'll let Stump go. Gives him plenty of room. Stump now going to go down to try to chase down your race leader. Battle shaping up back here for your 4th position as Fortin trying to get past the 20 of McDuff. Maybe a little bumper tag that time through turns 1 and 2. They work down the backstretch. 28 laps to go. That time a little bumper off turn number 4. Fortin trying to make a move on the 20 of Justin McDuff. Couldn't quite do it. Laying the bumper to him. Unable to get by the Tim Hortons number 20 of McDuff. Chris Stump now trying to cut into the interval, 2 seconds behind your race leader of A.J. Hamill. As this battle, the back bumper getting worn out on the 20 of McDuff. We go on the track racer onboard camera. Looking back on the 20. The Rumar Vinyl Designs, number 13 of Guillaume Fortin, trying to get past. Ooh, more contact. Now take a bit to the inside. Fortin to the inside. He draws up even off turn number 2. He'll make the move. They'll put Fortin to fourth after using some muscle from that Rumar Vinyl Design sponsored number 13 underneath the 20 of McDuff. Here comes Rigsby as well. Justin Rigsby will slide on back. That'll slide the number 20 of McDuff back to your 6 spot, but he's not happy with that. He'll make a bid to the inside. Door to door off turn number 4. Give the spot to McDuff back inside the top 5. Meanwhile, they are catching the 12 of Brian Rogers. And Chris Stump not opening up his gap over Rogers by that much since getting around the 12 of Pepsi. 13 laps to go this time as they work through the corner. This driver, the A.J. Hamill out of Morrisville, Vermont, New York's Barbershop, number 18, New York, is your race leader. AJ coming up on the back side of your race. He's got the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw. Holtzclaw down many laps to your race lead. Out there trying to finish out the season. Mike did not had a decent start to the season and kind of had a rough patch here as of late. Unfortunate for that driver out of Tennessee. Stump runs second. Third is Rogers. 13 of Guillaume Fortin runs fourth. Justin McDuff and Joe Schaffer battling it out for your 5th spot. Andy Lambert runs 7th. Justin Rigsby back to your 8th spot. Matt 80 runs in the 9th in the car number 88. And Aaron Maynard rounds out your top 10. This time, it'll be 8 circuits left to go for A.J. Hamill. Winless so far in the 2020 campaign for the DECAF Late Model Tour. Would like to end the season on a high note. Still work to underneath the 777 of Carpenter. Carpenter up the racetrack, gets out of the way of the race leader. He'll go down 1 circuit to the 18 of Hamill. Guillaume Fortin trying to close in on the 12 of Rogers. Schaffer still unable to get around the Tim Hortons entry of Justin McDuff. Doing what he needs to do. As of right now, unofficially, he should be your 2020 DECAF Late Model Champion. If you finish there with just 4 more laps to go. Gap from first to second, 1.7 seconds. A.J. Hamill doing what he needs. 3 more turns around. Chris Stump runs second. Third is Brian Rogers. Can he hold on to a podium finish? Andy Lambert getting by along with Joe Schaffer. Schaffer up to the 5th spot, 1 spot behind Fortin as the white silk will fly as the rabbit ears are up. A.J. Hamill stretching his legs, flexing his muscles. This time off turn number 4. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go. White flag for the 18 of A.J. Hamill. He makes it underneath Styles, that time off turn number 2. Clear sailing in front of the Arts Barbershops, number 18. Off of turn number 4. Checkered flag is out. A.J. Hamill will pick up the DECAF Late Model Feature 2 event win. Chris Stump will come home second. Third will go to Brian Rogers. Guillaume Fortin will finish 4th. And rounding out your top 5 and unofficially, your champion, the number 6 of Joe Schaffer, rounding out your top 5. So we have that here. So your top 3 will come down here onto the front stretch. AJ Hamill burning them down. Him and G come to a meeting here as Joe Schaffer will roll on by. I believe they will wait to see who is going to be crowned our 2020 DECAF Late Model Champion. Chris Stump runs in, finishes second. So we'll be right back here with our post-race show coming right up here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Your home for all things sim racing.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
And welcome back here to the Bull Ring, where feature number 2 just wound up here. 75 laps of green flag racing here to end out the 2020 DECAF Late Models inaugural season, and putting it in victory lane in feature number 2 was the number 18 of AJ Hamill. And AJ, you look pretty darn excited down here in victory lane. I got wet from all the champagne. Congratulations on putting it in victory lane here in feature number 2.
Thanks. If I was an emotionally expressive person, I'd be screaming and yelling right now. So just imagine that, with all the wooing and the arm pumping and the champagne spraying.
Well, you ran a good race there. Feature number 1, you finished inside the top 5. And we didn't quite get caught up with you here before we got into this one, but we'll make up for it now. You come home with a win after the season long. Waited to race 11 to park it in victory lane. What took you so long?
Waited. Well, I only needed the good fortune of losing some spots in the prior race and the right handicap and all the right brakes and Joe getting damage. That's all it took. Just a few minor things and 25 less laps because Chris was on his way in a hurry.
Yeah, he
but
was.
You know what? That's speaking from a race promoter perspective. That's what this was all about. Is we were hoping to get some different winners who could maybe get a good starting spot and snag a win here and there. I guess the races were a little too long throughout the season to get that very often, but it finally happened.
Well, you're up 4 positions here tonight. Chris didn't quite get the hard charger. We'll talk to him in a moment. I see him down there circling his car, surveying it. But overall, good season, inaugural season for the DECAF Late Model Tour. You wear 2 hats here. You are a driver and you are a promoter. And I know from experience that can be a little tricky at times, but I think you had a great season. I believe everybody that we have talked to has said that they've had a great time this season, and hopefully it's been as much fun in your seat as it has been in our seat here. So I want to thank you for giving us a chance to be your broadcaster here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. But talking about this race, you got the lead away from, I believe it was the 22 of Holtzclaw there. The opening lap was quite wild. We had the some damage or a big wreck off of turn number 4. How'd you get through that, and did that really set up the rest of your race for you?
Yeah, finally right place, right time. I think Jeremy Watkins got a little out of shape and got up into Mike, who was up in the second row. And I was in the bottom lane and just was able to sneak right through. And I think it probably damaged quite a few contenders on the outside lane, which is another reason I'm sitting here. You know, you get less guys to deal with. So, but you know, that's how it is some nights. You get your bad. Last week I was wrecked on lap 2. So take the good with the bad and luckily end on a high note. But yeah, once I got to, I believe it was one of the casino cars, the lucky 777s of Mr. Carpenter, that I was able to get around. And then I thought B-Raj and I were going to save our tires, but he wanted the lead pretty bad, so I had to push it a little harder than I wanted to for about 20 laps until he finally burned his stuff up. And then just praying for no yellow and watching Chris creep slowly in my mirror. But yep, set up just right for one. Just how I drew it up.
Well, you come home with the win. You put your name in your own winner's book for the history of the inaugural season for the DECAF Late Model Tour.
You know, Al, some league owners, never happens.
Well, I know. Thanks for rubbing that one in, some salt in those open wounds. But I touched
That's an
on.
unfair comparison.
Well, hey, it is what it is. But you put yourself there and to put it on with your uncle up as race director, your dad is the pace car driver. It's got to be a special night for you to park that 18 in Victory Lane here.
They sent me the rear in the first race. That was weird.
Yeah,
but let's get moving to Chris here. Let me throw this at you real quick. This is as I got to lap 20 to go, I'm like, I got to hold on to this because this is, as you can see on the front of my car, the last cut for Arts Barbershop. And as of October 21st is the last official cut for Arts Barbershop, and at the end of the month it's sold and going somewhere else, and my dad is retiring, so this works out. Perfect timing. This one's for him. Glad we could be sitting here and hold on and get it done.
Well, congratulations once again on the win. Stay put. I believe you're going to hand out some hardware here in a moment. Let's take a slide down to the left here, and we'll talk to our second place finisher. That is the driver out of Tip City, Ohio, the number 98 of Chris Stump. And Chris, you worked your way up 10 spots from your starting position, just coming up short just a little bit here tonight in feature number 2.
Yeah, did you see him just hit me there?
I did. He pays for it though, isn't that?
DQ.
Isn't he your
I
car
wanted to
owner?
have something to fix. It looked too clean.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a good race. I survived the first big one. Surprisingly, Justin and I both squeezed through there, and once we got the restart, we were kind of content with riding. But once AJ and Brian got out to a pretty substantial lead, it was kind of time to go, and I was making my way up, or clicking off about 10th lap for, about 10 or 15 laps, and then once we got to about 15 to go, 10 to go, I just started getting too tight and had absolutely zero for AJ. So it's pretty awesome getting the win. Congrats to Art on the retirement. I'm only 30 years away. Pretty excited myself. So enjoy that. But yeah, it was a great race. Besides that first go around, or that first yellow, would have been nice if we could have done that first race. But you'll have nights like that on the short tracks.
Yep, yeah, twin feature here, coming home with a podium finish. Can't complain too much. You weren't really into the standings there, but I believe you'll come home with a nice top 10 in the points. Moving on from tonight, and the DECAF Late Model Tour is going to take a little of a backseat. The Nitro Series will be kicking off. Will we see you in the Nitro Series coming up here for the Coffee Cup Racing League?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, who makes it all possible for you here tonight? Before I see that the championship stage is getting set up here on the front stretch.
Well, just gotta thank Big Johnson, like always, Magnum Condoms, keeping us safe out there, and my Empire Racing teammates. Again, want to congratulate AJ's dad on the retirement, and congratulate Joe for a dominating season. And you, Al.
I appreciate that. That is your second place finisher here tonight. It is none other than the 98 of Chris Stump, and we will bring in back AJ here. We got the current point standings up on the screen, AJ, and we'll bring in. Well, are you ready for our champion? I guess before I display the points.
My God, I'm ready. Bring him up.
All right.
I don't think it's a mystery.
Well, here it is, your inaugural championship standings after race number 2 here from the Bull Ring. And I will give the microphone over to you, AJ. And here you are.
Oh boy, I wasn't ready to start that one. Hold on, somebody's talking to me here. Joe, I got a giant trophy for you. You might need some crew members to help you with it.
All right, good.
Congrats on winning the inaugural DECAF Late Model Tour Championship. Certainly deserved it. I wish we had more cars that had more challenge for you, but you know what you're doing, and you did a great job doing it. And I also want to thank you for getting caught up in tonight's wreck. So I get to put a checkered flag on my door. But this is about you, so congrats to you. Here's your trophy. Say some stuff.
Thank you. It's kind of a bummer in that first race that things went so south for G in a hurry. He's a good driver, and I enjoyed racing with him this season. So hopefully he comes and runs some ARCA with us for the Nitro Series in a couple weeks, and we can start this over again.
That would be cool. Yeah, that was unfortunate. If your situations had been reversed, we would have had a heck of a finale, but wasn't meant to be. And I don't know, he's free on Monday nights. I'll see if I can talk him into driving those bigger cars on the bigger tracks.
I mean, I would have loved to chase you around tonight in the second feature here, but
no, that's okay.
I ended up ripping the right front of the car off completely. On it was scored as lap 1, but it was it was after that. It was after the initial start, first restart, lap 1. I pounded at him. I saw him start to spin, and I thought I was low enough to get out of the way, but I smashed him, and I spent the rest of the race trying to make sure I wasn't going to blow up. It was getting hot, and it wouldn't turn so good anymore after that.
And you still finished 5th.
It was a matter of survival. I think it was just because I was going so slowly that I just had so much tire left at the end. It didn't matter.
Well, sometimes it's got to be fun coming through the field a little slower, I guess.
I definitely enjoyed the how the winner or how the starting handicaps were. I haven't had a season like this where I put it together for so many weeks in a row, and to do it, clean. That was my main goal. So it's one thing to win, it's another thing to win clean. So I really I'm really happy with this one for sure.
You did do it clean, and one thing that viewers might not realize is we have good drivers. You were just that much better. It's not all slouches here. We got I don't want to go through a list and forget names, but there's enough guys in here who can wheel a race car. And you showed them how this late model moves around. Maybe when season 2 comes back, we can give you a challenge.
I fully expect it for sure.
All right, Al, back to you.
All right, there you have it. That is your promoter in race winner AJ Hamill. And Joe, coming home with the champion, he came into race number 2 with a 40-point advantage over Guillaume Fortin. And G had some rough luck in the feature number 1. Was your plan going into the night just to keep him in sight for feature number 2? And how worried were you with that right front damage that you were just talking with AJ about?
I guess for the most part tonight, yeah. When I showed up for the first race, I figured if I could just keep G behind me or keep him in close view, I would have been fine. ended up catching a good break on the first start, and once I got to the lead, or once I got close to the lead, I figured I'd go for it and try to win the thing, because there's only one way to ensure you gain points is by winning the thing. So I felt pretty good after that first one, and then the points gap for the second one, it was big enough to the point where even though I had the damage, it is what it is. AJ told me I just needed to finish, so I was hoping it wouldn't blow up, and I did what I could to keep it running the whole time, so thank God it survived, and I'm stress-free now.
Well, congratulations once again on picking up your first title for the Coffee Cup Racing League. The DECAF Late Model Tour comes to a close. Any chance that you might take your skills to that Nitro Series?
Absolutely. I got to learn how to drive on some 1.5 mile tracks, so I'll probably get brakes beaten off me on the big tracks, but it'll be a learning process, and I'll be looking forward to all the short tracks for sure.
Well, it's been a pleasure calling the races for you here and all that, but this championship run isn't done just by yourself. Who supports you and who backs you to get you into the victory lane? 7-time winner here in the DECAF Late Model Tour. Who makes it all possible?
Well, as I always say, Drew Kryback with Epic Media. He does a lot of stuff for sim racers, especially whether he's sponsoring the series or sponsoring the drivers. So it's always nice to give him a shout out. Thank the posse and Bill as a fellow teammate. He's kind of the one who got me into this league and running with these guys. So shame he didn't stick around and race every week like I did, but we all had fun racing together, and it was a good season.
Well, congratulations on your championship. We'll see you out on the short tracks, I am sure, coming up here very shortly. But congratulations once again on becoming our first champion for the Coffee Cup Racing League's DECAF Late Model Tour. We will see you on the flip side at some point. I imagine we'll see you here on the Turn 3 Racing Networks somewhere in the near future. But that will put a wrap on here. Remember, sign-ups for the Nitro Series will start the mid to late December. Go to coffeecupracingleague.com. That was just on your screen here. If you're interested in that, like them on Facebook. And if you are watching and you haven't subscribed to the Turn 3 Racing Network, hit subscribe, smash the thumb, let these drivers know that you appreciate what they put on for you here tonight. But on behalf of everybody at the Coffee Cup Racing League and the Turn 3 Racing Network, my name is Al Smith. It's been a pleasure bringing you the action. Until next time, we'll see you at the racetrack.